Hey, Miles here, milesbecker.com. In this video, we are going to look behind the scenes of 31 months of content marketing effort. This is my effort analysis I do every month. So we're going to look in my analytics on the YouTube page, the analytics of my blog, and the analytics of my podcast feed. This is the 3-pillar content marketing strategy coming at you, and I'm going to show you what the results are now that I've done 1 month beyond 2.5 years. Now, just a refresher, I record videos first. It's the easiest format for me to create content in. So I'm a video producer. I've got a virtual assistant who takes the audio track, puts them onto my podcast feed. That's been going on since about October of 2017, November 2017. And then I've got a team that takes the actual words, transcribes them with temi.com, temi.com, or otter.ai, otter.ai, and then they copy edit them, they turn them into blog posts, they optimize them, and they publish them to my blog. So we're going to look behind and see what kind of traffic, what kind of results happen from that. My email list is right about that 10,000 subscriber mark. Been a long time coming to get to that point, so that's a pretty big mark for me. And with that said, let's jump in. We're going to start in YouTube, and we're going to look at the data inside of YouTube first. So right here you can see on the left pane at the bottom it says view all 493, which means I have published 493 videos in about 31 months. So that I don't know what the rough math is on that, to be perfectly honest. I think it's something like 13 a month on average, give or take. I'll let you bust out a calculator if you're super interested in that. On the view numbers, I'm now pushing the 4.5 million view mark, which is absolutely astounding that there's been that many views, and I've crossed the 90,000 subscriber mark. All signs point clearly to the fact that I will be over 100,000 subscribers by the time I hit the 3-year mark. Actually, it should probably be within about 2.5, 3 months is when I'll actually hit that point. So let's jump in the analytics and do a little bit closer look, because you can see right here on the watch time, my watch time is really sliding. And one thing that's going on is, so for 2 months, I had been running paid ads to my videos. I'm not creating separate videos. I'm not running call to action videos. I'm literally paying to boost my best performing videos to get more reach. This idea came from Neil Patel when I got to sit down and chat with him at the Affiliate Summit 2019 in Las Vegas. He was just boldly and clearly saying you should run paid ads to your best videos for 60 days, and then you should turn it off for 60 days. And you should cycle between running it on and off in 60-day increments, because the theory is that all of the engagements that I receive from the paid traffic durations will carry over into the organic periods. We're doing the same thing with my wife, and I'm literally about a week of not running ads. So I can see that my watch time's dropping down, my average view duration's going back up, and my view numbers are also dropping down, which is okay. But what I'm really interested in is watching my numbers as I get to the 30 and 60-day mark. I can tell you right now, my average 48-hour view time was very consistently between 10 and 12,000 views per 48 hours. And right now it's sitting closer to the 14 to 16,000 views per 48 hours. So it does appear that it has increased, but I'm still collecting data on this right now. Let's actually go in real quick. I want to run a little comparison so we can see what it was compared this time versus last year at this time. So let me set that up real quick. And here are my year-over-year numbers, and it is so plain to see what the potential growth of running those paid ads did. The blue line is this current year, and again, I was running paid ads in this area, but I stopped my paid ads here. So even now that I've stopped for about a week, you can see the blue line is still much higher, and we're looking at, that's a 7,000 plus view per day difference. This is upwards of 20,000 views per day. So that's like almost a 50% increase right there. My average view duration is spot on similar, and you can see that we're getting closer, but there's still this higher level. And that was the big theory, really, ultimately, in running the paid ads. You can see my subscriber numbers are also significantly higher. But again, I'm not going to get extremely clean data until we do this next month, and then I do the year over year next month. But I'm analyzing this on the fly as we go. So far, signs seem that it was worth the $50 to $60 per day that I was spending on this, but ultimately, time will tell on that. Let's jump into the actual blog analytics, because I've been putting a lot of effort inside of my blog. I've created a new SEO software that is running up inside of my contentandconversion.com membership program. I've created an advanced SEO training that's also inside of my Content and Conversion membership program. And those are based on what I've been doing here in my blog with my kind of SEO team and my content team to optimize my content. Right now, I'm up to 29,000 visits in the last 30 days. So I'm really getting up to that. I'm bumping into that 1,000 visits a day average mark, which is great, from about 20,000 users, and you can see 54,000 page views, almost 2 pages per session. So here's where you're going to start to see the results from these efforts that we've been putting in to improve. This is a month over month, and this can show some seasonality, so I'll do another comparison. But you can see just month over month, I'm 13.48 more visits up from 16% more people, and my page views are going up. So this means not only am I getting more people, but the people who are showing up are also engaging more, which is really interesting. To remove seasonality from the numbers, because there's a difference from one month to the next, we're going to do a year-over-year view, and this is where it gets pretty dramatic. And you can see here that I'm 50% up on my traffic year over year, 42% more page views, so they're sticking around much longer, and 70% more people are actually finding my site this month, this year, versus this month last year. And this is the best part of the content, right? I think that written content is still the most powerful content mechanism because more people search Google for answers to their questions, and that's where my written content gets picked up. That's why I invest heavily in a content team to take my videos and to get them onto my blog posts. But I want to show you real specifically, because this is all my traffic, right? I email my list sometimes and I tell them to come check out my stuff, and I do get traffic from other sources beyond the just the organic content marketing. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down by sources and mediums so you can see exactly where my traffic is coming from. And you're going to see right here, I'm keeping this year over year running. You can see on Google Organic, I'm actually up 85%. That's right down here in this first column. Where's my mouse? There. So I'm up 85.75% in Google Organic year over year. We're pushing the 100% year-over-year increase, which is doubling, right? My traffic has almost doubled from 19,000 to 28,000. So this is a massive, from 8,000 to 15,000. So if it was 16,000, just 1,000 away from literally doubling. And this is the power. So my overall site is up 50%, but the Google Organic, which is the whole point of putting out content on a blog, is to get Google to fall in love with your content, to drive traffic. That's up 85%. Let's look at it month over month to just show kind of the closer range of what's actually going on, and then that'll be the last one in here before we go into the podcast. So right here you can see I'm up 20%. So the site wide I'm up 13.4%, and you can see on Google specifically I'm up 20%. So the Google is trending greater than the rest of my traffic, which means that if I'm losing traffic from social or from any other traffic source or direct, if I'm not mailing as much, even though that's up 5%, it's not up as much as the site is. Google is really picking up the slack there. And again, this is all just the optimization that I'm doing. It's inside of contentandconversion.com. I've got that advanced SEO training and the software tool. I'm running that software tool on my old content, and I'm doing the things I teach in that advanced training on my content, and it is just taking my old stuff that I've written and I've paid to have kind of written and optimized over the last year, and it is just bumping it up and up and up in the search engines. So I'm really excited to see that. And then I want to go last here into the podcast. So this is the podcast, and podcast has been slow and steady growth. Again, I started, I believe, in October or November of 2017. All time, I'm sitting at about 113,000 downloads at this point. And you can see, so last month I got to 9,300. The month before that was 82, 81. So ultimately, my trend is going up. It is right now March 24th. We have 1 week left in March, which means we're 3/4 of the way through March. So using that kind of napkin math, if you will, that means I could expect somewhere around 2,500, maybe 2,700 more visits, more downloads this month based on the numbers I've seen already, which would put me over the 10,000 downloads in a month mark. And again, this is the same content that I'm putting out. My virtual assistant in the Philippines, who's been with me for years and years, she just automatically goes and looks for my videos, and then she pulls out the MP3 and puts them up for me. It's 100% hands off, and it's connecting me with more people. And just so you don't think that I'm cannibalizing my audience in one place from the other, I'm definitely not. And here's where podcasting is really, really practical. Parents, I'm actually right now I'm staying with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and they've got 2 kids. They have a 6-month-old, and he's just under 3 years old, and they literally can't spend more than a minute or 2 away from their kids. The need for attention is real with small children. There's this whole segment, this whole demographic of parents who are extremely busy. They can't sit down and watch a YouTube video like this, but what can they do? Well, they can pop in their earbuds when they're at the gym. They can listen in their car while they're commuting. They can listen on their earbuds while they're on the train, commuting, etc., etc. While they're out taking the walk, going for walks in the afternoons, they're able to listen to content. And this is why I reformat my content from the video side into the MP3 side, because I'm reaching a different demographic. I'm reaching a different segment of my audience. So my YouTube channel growth is continuing to grow. My blog content is just growing at a massive rate right now, and my podcast is growing as well. So I'm just reaching more and more people each and every month. All of this filters back to my free course, How I Went from Side Hustle to $1 Million Business. I'll have a little book pop up here. There'll be a card that'll pop up in the corner. If you haven't got that, go ahead and grab it, subscribe. You'll get the whole course. You get a password and log in. It's a really in-depth, comprehensive course that's going to help you choose your niche, blah, 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 all that good stuff to build a business, right? I show you everything that I did to do it, to create this business that I'm running right now. And people will find it, they come back, my list grows, the relationship grows. I continue to do my work of putting out 3 great videos each and every week. I've got teammates, I've got systems, I've got support in place to help me syndicate that content out as many places as I can, and voila, things are working. It really works when you stick with it. And I think it's important to last note, this is, again, I'm pushing 3 years. I'm 2.5 years in. I did nothing but videos for 6 months. Then I added on an email, my opt-in list, and I did that for 6 months. It was over 1 year and about 200 videos before I ever tried to turn one into a blog post, before I ever considered turning one into a podcast episode. You are not here. You are not here to keep up with me, right? If you don't have 15 years of experience making money online and 60 to 70 hours per week to dedicate to your business, don't expect yourself to be able to keep up. All you want to do is keep up with you. Find that one core content pillar that you can go all in on and dominate. 80% of your efforts should go on one core pillar. For me, that's YouTube. And the reason is because it's easy for me to create content like this. If it's easier for you to write out content, to do an outline one day, to write the first draft the next day, to write a great final draft and copy edit a final draft that third day, do the written content. Do what's easiest for you to get going, and then stick with it for a year. Publish 200 plus great pieces of content in a year. Then you can start to expect to see some momentum, and you'll be so good at the process at that point that you'll be able to get more time. You free up your time. It just doesn't take as long for me to make a video today as it did 2 years ago. So I have a little bit more time, and that's the time I dedicated to testing and really building out those other processes that my teammates now do for me. I know you can do this. Just remember, it's a 3 to 5 year plan. Get the book, get the course, the free course. The book will pop up here on the end screen. I thank you. If you have any questions, get at me in the comments, and I look forward to connecting with you on another video. Till we meet again, be well.